All right, so hi, it's Josh again, live in Brooklyn. It's sunset on May 2nd. It's a Saturday, a Shabbos day. I rested today. I was going to go to the gym. I even bought a pastrami at lunch. I was like, okay, let's go. And my left foot's acting up again. So instead, I just stayed home. I iced it for about 30 minutes, actually. And it's still kind of swollen. So I don't know, is it the way I'm sitting? But I got these two injuries, my left foot and my right hand. And I remember learning to like soccer moves with juggling. Like you do a juggle and you toss it down to your foot, catch it on your foot. And I remember learning like tossing a ball from right hand to left foot and thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I spending all these hours doing these tricks and learning these paths that are not normal, these skills, the trained monkey skills, right? For what reason would a person toss a packet of energy from their hand to their foot, their opposite foot? But I learned, then I was like, okay, I'll pass it to the same side and then I'll cross over. Okay, maybe I can pass it foot to foot. So as I'm learning it, I couldn't come up with a reason for a person to want to move these little packets of energy around from hand to foot or foot to foot or foot to forehead or forehead to foot. And the only thing I could come up with was like mind over matter. Like, well, maybe like foot to forehead, like retracing your steps and trying to open the third eye, or hand to forehead, or where did I put my keys, or things like that. But I had no dialogue as to, when I was learning it, like, for what reason would a human make a ball, hold it in a juggling pattern, mind you, which is catch and release, and then redirect it from the hands. Now I have something that my foot needs and toss it down to the foot. The foot catches it and then transfers it back into the pattern. Maybe the foot had something that should be kicked up to the hand. Like what, other than an errant prop? Because I have to keep it all consistent, right? Like if you walk through a forest and you find an interesting stone and you kick it up with your foot, or an interesting stick. You want to examine it and see if it's valuable, or see if it has medicinal uses or something, right? So I've had this injury and I keep thinking of learning it and having no idea why I was learning it. And I have no idea why I have these injuries. Because, well, it took me a while to figure out that the hand injury was from farmer's carries of like 70 and 80 pounds. Like, if I go above 50, because I used to work at a restaurant, so I was like, 50 isn't that hard, because I used to move bags of rice or flour at the bagel shop, or even boxes of salmon, like, which is very expensive, actually, 50 pounds of salmon, because they come in boxes of 50. And I haven't seen a pigeon in Brooklyn in a long time. So they come in boxes of 50. So I used to move them even up and down the stairs, and you have to be careful because sometimes the flour leaks, or the flour's on the outside of the bag and the stairs get slippery. So more than once, just as prevention, I remember sweeping 2-3 times an hour when it was delivery day. I was the low man on the totem pole. But, oh, something's for sale. Oh, no, that's sad. So I digress. But, when I'm doing farmer's carries, you're supposed to keep working on it until you can carry with grip strength your own body weight. So when I made it to like 75, I was like, this isn't that hard. I could do half a minute with 75 walking around. And I can feel it in my cores. I can feel it in my feet. Like the extra 150 pounds. And that's more than half my body weight. And I was like, well, I'm halfway there. Haha, in progress. And my hands are gripping fine. But if you go too long with farmer's grips, and you don't tie it with ropes to your hands, and you don't, do whatever the other tricks are to keep the weight burden, Sometimes it slips out of your hands, the grip. So some people, they just drop them. Then you don't want to damage your hands, so you don't want to damage your feet either. So you just drop them and make sure they don't land on your feet, at the side of your body. But not all of the gym is matted, and so if I get tired, I would bend over after 100 steps and rest. Anyway, one of them slipped in my right hand and it went to my fingers. And you know how oh shit. You know how rock climbers, they have crazy grip strength and crazy hand skills? Well, I'm not a rock climber. I'm a juggler. So I have catch and release skills, very fast reflexes, very well-developed hands, very muscular, well-developed hands. Well, this is a grip thing, weightlifting, which is different. So the point was, I'm changing the energy and flow of a juggling pattern, which is hold, redirect, release energy. It's a flow energy to just the dwell or hold time energy, and strengthening my dwell abilities, right? So learning to bench press 135, learning to grip 80 pounds for more than 15 seconds helps with your dwell time strength. And I know this. I know that I'm trying to develop because I want to continue to work on 8 and 9 rings and 10 rings. So anyway, it slips on my hand, and like a rock climber, when they support their whole body on 2 fingers or 3 fingers, it went down to the tips of my fingers, and it just stretches out all the tendons. So it just shreds your hand, the back side of your hand. You know, like if you date a nice lady and at the end of the date, you kiss her hand goodnight, you know? It was a gentle kiss, it was very nice. It would be lovely to thank you for spending time with me. We had a lovely dinner. And perhaps we could have each other's company again sometime, when it's a second or third day, first, second, or third day, when you kiss a lady's hand. Well, all those tendons, the back of the hand, we give her a light peck, it's early in the relationship. So it just shredded the shit out of my hand. So then it was really swollen when I woke up the next day. And then, hi, how's it going? Master Clinton. Yeah, so hand injury, just doing farmer's carries, and when you're carrying heavy weights and they slip in your hands. So then I caught it with my fingertips and it just shredded my hand from the inside. So I was surprised it popped and got swollen. But if I wrote with my left hand, I remember with my right hand, because I do sports with my right hand. I couldn't grip a ball, I couldn't pitch, I couldn't juggle. Thank goodness I write with my left hand, because I was able to work. But if someone asked me to play in a basketball game or a baseball game or volleyball or whatever, no, I couldn't, because my hand was totally immobile. So I iced it. My dad's wife, she's a widow now, she said, yeah, you ice swollen things. A little bit more mobility, 10% better. Still can't make a fist. Still can't really grip anything without pain. Then I just worked through it. And now I can say it's 2 weeks later. And what I did was I iced it and stretched it and bought this gel called, this cream called Bloody Knuckles. And I put this cream on my hand that's for construction workers and people that work with their hands all day. They get scuffed and scabbed hands. And a week later, I went back to the gym because I was going 2 days a week doing these heavy weights. So I took a week's rest for my next workout. And I was able to bench up to 125, right, instead of 135. I did everything 10 to 20 pounds lighter. But in terms of the farmer's carry, I just didn't go above 30 pounds because I couldn't grip. So even though my grocery carry grip was down to, I was able to carry my groceries by the end of the week, right? So it's down to about 30 pounds, and it hurt. It was painful to make a fist with my right hand. But I'm getting my grip strength back and my rotational strength and my pronation and supination. And, this is the school where I work. People at the church on Saturday. And shout out to the Monsignor celebrating his 40 years of service to the community. He became a priest 40 years ago. Can you believe that? 1986. So it was a very nice, simple ceremony. And the school principal bought him this cloak with this sort of Madonna image of a gorgeous blue-haired, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Mary. Like this on those candles. If you light candles for mother or for family, you know what I'm talking about. It's when you light a candle for your mother or a female in your family. Those sort of Catholic candles, the tall candles. And on a wonderful sort of like a cloak and a scarf that goes with it. Something going on in the gym? Something's going on tonight. Or maybe it's downstairs. Anyway, my classroom's on the 3rd floor. And yeah. Shout out to Alfonso Messina. What's this? Someone had a cooler. I think it's a downstairs event, it sounds like. I could be wrong. But congratulations to him. I wake up in the morning making breakfast. I see him. He does daily mass, reading scripture, and just like clockwork, just goes through the cycle. And I can't imagine that he's baptized or met grandchildren and grandchildren of some of the families he's served here. But I don't know how long he's been at this chapel. Chapel. There's a wrestling event next week. Warriors of Wrestling, but so anyway, I digress. So the hand and foot injury, like I kept thinking of how stupid they are. Like, I don't understand the foot injury because I used to run marathons, and I remember sweating out and working through pain. Mostly, foot pain and ankle pain when I was becoming a marathon runner. But always having a smoothie. It's just my intuition, I guess. I guess I was lucky. I had enough people around me that either had done marathons or gave me not too much advice, but kept my head on my shoulders, like, you can do it, Josh, like encouragement, like. And I'm training to do another marathon for my dad, as I ramble. And but this one's kind of tough because I'm not at light jogging level yet, so I can't just start a light jog, like 10-minute mile, and just work through or loosen it up. It's like the plantar fasciitis, or whatever you call it, planarfasciitis, has lost its super strength. Plus, I've gained like 40-50 pounds. So as I work off the visceral fat, with these farmer's carries, that's what I need to. That's what I was doing it. And working on my core again. It's just the bottom of my foot. So I iced it today. And it feels like the energy's flowing, but it still feels like lame. And my big toe's a little swollen. But I haven't been jogging yet. I've just been doing fast walks, power walks, and very light jogs. Like no faster than 12-minute mile. Like my kick is like 6.5, which is like an 11.5-minute mile or something. I mean, it's very slow jog compared to what I used to do. So when I was in my 30s and 40s, if I was training on a treadmill, say, okay, I'll do 6 miles. It's just like the Central Park loop. But then my kick would be at like a 7-minute mile pace or 8 miles per hour or faster. So I'm so far away from that, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm someone with a happy scooter or a toy or something. Oh, it's an adult. But I'm limping on my left foot, and you try and make sure that you don't make it worse by nursing too much. Hey, Pooch. So I gotta make sure I do my strike stride through the foot, and the push off is like my right foot. So I'm imitating it a little bit. And in my experience as a 5-time marathoner, it'll work itself out. But for it to be like this for 2 weeks is very unusual as well. I found that working out once a week, you don't really lose weight unless you're going to fast. So I don't recommend working out once a week if you think you're going to lose weight. 2 to 3 times a week with power walks or incline walks, that will work. And I just have to make sure this hand heals and this foot heals so that I can get to that, back to that. All right, I'm not asking for a lot of time in the gym. I'm not over myself. I'm not asking for a lot for myself. I'm asking for 2 workouts for maybe two months. And then once I hit summertime, 3 to 4 times a week, I'll be working out. Not too intense, like, because, I mean, I've done like 5-hour juggles and 8-hour gym days when I was doing it for a living. But, you know, how's it going, guys? We're in Brooklyn. You're Turkish. All right, hello. All right. Papa is, our names are Romanian, but mixed European. Mother was from Hawaii. She's Japanese. But both my parents have passed away, but I did love them both. They were both very good parents, so I don't care what you have to say about that. I was very lucky to have both of my parents. So I'm heading west, Red Bay Parkway. There's a lot of Orthodox schools here. There's the subway, and it's sunset. Nice clock tower here by the chapel, which is telling the wrong time. It's at 8:19. It says 10:05 and 9:45 perpetually, because it looks like a broken clock is right 4 times a day on this tower. Hey, Esmeralda Suarez, I'm walking in Brooklyn. So, you know, when you do these meditative walks to fix your legs, you breathe through it. So breathe. This really worked in the marathon. You meditate that your breathing is out the bad air, but when you breathe in, the energy goes over your shoulders and down your back, down your spine, the center, and then through your legs. And that really works. Breath control. But you think like you have a backpacker of like hooks over your back, like you're oxygenating, you want to fill them with oxygen. So like you have 2 tubes that are going over your shoulders, down the main artery of the back, down to the pelvis, down to the legs and the feet. And then it starts to connect head to toe. If you run a marathon, you know what I'm talking about. When you feel the energy from head to toe. You know what I'm talking about if you've done it. And I say this as a 4-hour marathoner, not some 2 or 3-hour marathoner, but not some record age group level, but at like a 10 to 12 minute mile pace, like that kind of marathoner, like a hobbyist. That energy connection is great. All day energy. What's this? Tulips and lilies and stuff. If you saw my YouTube channel, the principal of the school asked me to paint a mural. I've never done a mural before, ever. In the style of MoMA, and because Muffins with Mom is coming up. And MoMA, Museum of Modern Art, my mom had annual membership. She used to leave New Jersey, where she lived, come into the city at least a few times a year to have tea with these 3 or 4 friends who were also into the fine arts. Mother had 2 master's degrees. And yeah, Mom was quite talented. And I used to sometimes walk her there to her friends, give them a nod. She'd ask me to. Of course, because they're doing it. But yeah. So yeah, when mom passed away and then when dad passed away, you can't help but think, these. It's always nice if you meet a nice girl or meet a nice woman, that they get to meet your parents and get their blessing when you're starting a life together. And that's what you want. And then you have a network of people who are helping you get what you want, right? Helping you support. Oh, now you have children, so now we have cousins or grandchildren. Life is wonderful, continuity. So you get not depressed, but just like, so I'll keep going. My foot. All right. So I'm going this way. So yeah. Oof. Yeah. So now I'm 21. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep going to 18th Avenue, I think. I'm not going on the main road because the air quality isn't that good. The warehouse isn't under the subway. The subway tracks make the air quality worse on that avenue. So the air is a little fresher here than the 86th. And I was gonna get another soaking tub that was more like a foot to 2 deep, where it like soaks almost up to your knees, like a foot tub. But money is super tight, so that's not gonna happen. Oh, we're passing the Americana building. I don't know if I've seen it at night with the lights on, but he's got a lot of Marvel superheroes in DC. There's Batman. He's got soldiers' flags, POW, MIA, Marines, Navy, Army. And there's Betty Boop, Elvis, Blues Brothers sitting by a lamppost, chilling. There's a payphone with Clark Kent, it looks like. Doesn't change. There's Humphrey Bogart in the corner by that don't walk sign. Oh, it actually works, the traffic light. I've not seen this. Statue of Liberty is kind of a faint torch. And the Christmas lights are going. I guess he does this year-round, this dude. Welcome to Brooklyn, the largest city in America. Oh, fourth largest. All these different things from old American TV shows in America. The pink elephant. There's a Marine with a flag. Stevens Playground. It's Halloween all year long. There's a crocodile and a baby croc. A baby elephant. A giraffe. Dragon. Can't we all just get along? This is the dragon. Smiling on camera. A knight. That looks like it's supposed to be... Oh, that's a monk. And there's another Elvis and the Tin Man. And a gold knight in full plate mail. Uncle Sam, Darth Vader. Wow, Stevens Playground. 2056 on 85th Street, if you want to check it out sometime. So, on we go. That's pretty good stuff. make a short out of that. Work on my YouTube skills. Yeah, so the neighbors upstairs moved out. I don't know if they didn't have money from lack of paying. And then he's been cleaning the apartment all day upstairs, the attic. And the son walked in my apartment. I left the door open. His son is on the autism spectrum. It's kind of a severe case, so he screeches and is very emotional sometimes, like Rain Man. But yeah, on my foot. So yeah. So I'm gonna keep going. How's it going, guys? This is just walking in Brooklyn at night. It's at 85th Street, walking west. So I'm going to Marshall's, which is on 18th Avenue. So I think we're approaching 20th Avenue. And it's 8:29. The point being is that I really have to pee, and I'm not going to pee on this person's house or in the corner here where all the Mexicans pee. We're in this doorway. The Mexican shop workers pee. And it smells like urine. So instead I'm going to go to Mickey D's. And I'll get like a $3 hamburger, McDouble or something, and use the John. So I'm going to take a break soon. Approach 20th Avenue. Then I'll live stream again. So I'm going to take a break for about 5-10 minutes, guys. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and follow. I'll show you the final picture of the mural. It has to be done by Wednesday. And I'm doing my grades, and I'm going to pledge to come back next year, and I hope I can do so. And this is Josh, streaming to you live in Brooklyn. And I'll try my workout. Tomorrow the goal is to bench 135 again since the injury, first time since the injury. Because my grip strength is back, and it's not a downward pull on the hand, it's an upward push, which is, I was able to do 125 last week, as I said. So, working on it. All right, thanks for the thumbs up, you three. And here we are at 20th Avenue in Brooklyn, New York City. I'm just gonna grab a quick snack at Mickey D's and head to Marshall's. Later, skaters. Take care of yourself.